All my fellas.
We're recapping the entire Reality's Mask Fate trilogy thing. You get the point. Let's go. That handsome fella laying on the ground is depressed because one of his teammates just deleted one of the kids that he was supposed to protect. How mean of him. So basically, in this whole 2 minutes of blank call, whatever, no one wants to listen to this, so let me just recap it. Power Nate's all depressed and getting all sad to Inferno. That Time Lord just deleted the kid that he was supposed to protect. Inferno, obviously not being able to help because he's across the world, is just like, oh no. And then Nate is then again depressed on the ground.
She had a jacket and everything, but Time Lord was there.
Oh no. I still see your shadows in my room.
Before you say anything, no, that was not editing. We actually thought it was a good idea to put Juice WRLD in the movie.
Can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love it.
So after the phone rings, Nate decides it's a good idea to pick it up, but what he doesn't know is that he's being stalked all of a sudden, and, well, he gets punched in the face and dies. No, I'm kidding. He's still alive. So Nate wakes up in a parking lot. Why? Because it was close, I think, for filming locations. Anyways, so he gets up, he looks around, and he's like, wait, what the heck is that? Turns out, it's the villain! Woo! Scary! Yeah, that's kind of it. And then they do their face-off. So Nate tries to walk away, but he's stopped, and they have to have a little fight, but suddenly Nate gets a hit. So it turns out it's a clone of Nate, and now he's gonna go on a rampage and probably start deleting everyone. So the end. Alright, phone call number 2. Let's start a counter. There, right there, bam! Axel calls Inferno to inform him that he thinks he found the body of Isla. He has to give a description, but it matches it pretty well, so it's a little bit sad. Inferno takes a look out his window to notice someone is out there. He has to hang up on Axel and let Nate inside.
What's going on? I'm clone, I think?
So Nate goes to Inferno's house because he has the bright idea that maybe it'll lure him there because then Inferno can kill him with fire powers because he can't control his powers yet. Foreshadowing. So they finally agree to maybe meet up with Axel so they can gather other information on the clone of Nate.
Let's go.
So they meet up at a forest, but Axel shows them a mask. It's a mask that the mask did wear, in fact. It was in a post-credit scene. And Nate clarifies that, saying, yes, he did in fact wear this mask before. And he's freaking out. Then Axel noticed someone in the forest. He points him out and asks who it is.
Power needs.
Who are you?
So there we go again. They have another giant fight against the mask. Except it's the team versus the mask. Obviously the fights are for entertainment purposes, and it's to keep you watching, but no, we're here for the story. It might be unclear to understand what's going on in these scenes, so let me explain. They finally kidnap the mask. I shouldn't say kidnap. They finally capture the mask. They take him in for whatever, and they, I don't know, put him in a cage, helicarrier, I don't know. They kidnapped him. They captured him. They analyzed the threat or something. They disarmed the threat, so then they go to see Isla's grave.
What's going on? I just passed by, I heard the noise.
So the movie wraps up with, I guess, the 4 of them, because Glare decided to show up, all going to Isla's grave and paying their respects. So I wasn't actually going to cover any of the post-credit scenes, but this one's actually important for the next movie because Axel and Inferno end up in another reality searching for something which I think is still unclear, and it gives a teaser to the upcoming villain that is shown in the next movie. which is going to be the season 1 villain, I think. So this part actually recaps the prior event, so I'm not recapping a recap. So basically, Nate enters the room right there to get a mafia guy named Charles to spectate Mask in his cell. This scene is why the post-credit scene is important. This is them leaving the force from that reality. Right here. Plain and simple, I guess. Yeah.
Where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go?
Mask deletes Charles, and what happens? The boss comes in. Well, Mask deletes the boss too, because he can. Let's go check on Inferno.
Inferno. What's that?
This villain was also teased in the prior post-credit scene, but anyways, Inferno and Axel jump through the portal. They see the mask that Mask created. They try to contact Dex and get the pew-pew to eliminate Mask again, but for some reason Dex broke it. It means they have to find another way.
Season 2 had a lot of new things. The blue part is the 70s territory, and the red part is the...
Inferno? Alright.
Inferno calls Nate to show how much of a failure he is because he let Mask escape, so now they have to go out just to find Mask, but they can't, and then they have the whole fight scene with him. As you can tell, it's another fight scene, but this time, instead of capturing him, they finally eliminate him.
This is only the beginning of the end for you. I've done my part.
So they get back home, but with Nate's fourth wall breaking, I guess he can just change clothes like that. I don't know.
Who's that? Lyra's calling. Give me a sec. Hello?
You have to help Axel and Visor.
So Lyra contacts Nate to let him know that the team, Axel and Visor, is fighting the Mask again. But if they just killed the Mask, then who is this? Well, it turns out it's Shadow King and Kadron, 2 clones of Inferno and Nate. Well, I guess not 2 clones. But still, it's another clone. It's more clone story. You get the point. It's a whole fight scene. Goes off. I almost didn't want to skip it. Because it's recapping, I can't really, show it to you guys. You know, it goes back and forth. But finally, you know, the team obviously wins, defeating the villains. And it ends off with them disappearing and the team running away. Something.
Inferno, why didn't you bring me with you?
Quit complaining, Nate. You ended up in his house in the next frames or so. How, I don't know.
Thanks for letting me bum around.
Yeah, no problem.
So Nate leaves Inferno's house, and there's a whole song dedicated to the friendship, sort of, with Isla, the kid he had to protect. But then he sees Time Lord, the one that he still thinks eliminated Isla.
The hell's your problem, man? No, wait, what? You know what you did, Time Lord? I did what? I saw you! I was there!
Die! All of you die!
If that didn't make sense to you whatsoever, Time Lord just got mind controlled. And there's a whole fight scene with Time Lord and Nate, but you get the point. But then it switches to Inferno. His basement, I guess. He's cleaning it up, and then Shadow King appears. Then it cuts back to the fight. Obviously, Nate is currently losing, and Shadow King knocks out Inferno. And we cut back to Nate and Time Lord, and Nate just kind of fell from the sky. Now, this scene might not stick with people. The name of the guy that he just got sent through a portal was Time Lord, so it was a time portal which leads to a time skip.
Oh.